Hello there, 25 years of fearless and independent journalism. Thank you for joining us from wherever you are. We are live from our studios in Kokomlemle. Digital address GA09925339. Our top stories this hour. Police in Stogakofe dismissed claims they fired live rounds of ammunition at angry residents on Monday during a protest over the killing of Assembly member Marcus Achali. We are live on the ground as we hear from the police, which has been largely silent over the matter. And also coming up, dealing with fake news and scams. This afternoon, we issue an alert over a fake news item generated by a fraud marketing website purporting to be from an interview held here on this channel. It is a scam. And finally, an official start of the National Cathedral after months of disagreement and a legal suit. We'll give you an insight into the project and today's groundbreaking ceremony. Join us on DSTV 421, GoTV 144, and on YouTube, where we are streaming live. You can drop us a message on WhatsApp on line 0540109009. My name is Gifty Andropia. This is The Pulse. Please be my guest. Hello there, welcome to the details. President Akufo-Addo today laid the foundation stone to kickstart the construction of the much-discussed National Cathedral. The president asked Ghanaians to appreciate the construction of the edifice as he argued God has many times saved this country from crisis. According to him, a recent Supreme Court unanimous dismissal of a case challenging the constitutionality of the construction of this project proves that it ought to be done.
The reasons for my decision to mobilize support for the construction of the National Cathedral still hold. Firstly, since gaining our freedom and independence from the British colonial power 63 years ago tomorrow, on 6th March 1957, Ghana has so far been spared civil war, famine, and epidemics. We're certainly no better than the other nations in our neighborhood who have been confronted with these challenges. But I believe it is by the grace of God that we have been preserved and sustained. And the construction of the cathedral will be an act of thanksgiving to the Almighty for his blessings, favor, grace, and mercies on our nation. Secondly, 71% of the Ghanaian people adhere to the Christian religion, grouped under the various persuasions of the Christian faith. The interdenominational National Cathedral will help unify the Christian community and thereby help promote national unity and social cohesion. The Supreme Court of the Republic, in unanimously rejecting recently a challenge to the constitutionality of the cathedral project, laid particular emphasis on this point in granting approval to the development of the project. Thirdly, I made a pledge to Almighty God that if he was gracious enough to grant my party, the New Patriotic Party, and I, victory in the 2016 election, after 2 unsuccessful attempts, I would help build a cathedral to his glory and honor. I am determined to redeem this pledge.
And so it was that journey to redeeming that pledge that started today. That's President Akufo-Addo there. Well, General Overseer of the Action Chapel International Ministry, Archbishop Duncan Williams, says the projects like the National Cathedral are bound to face criticism and resistance, but that should not discourage initiatives.
Has everything to do with generations yet unborn. will always create the kinds of controversy and the kinds of resistance and opposition we are facing, not just about the National Cathedral, but anything new, anything that has never been done before, anything that men cannot comprehend, appreciate, and understand, we always react to it. But let me say to the chairman and to all the members of the trustees, let us not allow the opposition, the controversy, the misrepresentation, the criticisms to...
Archbishop Duncan Williams, the president of the Worldwide Miracle Outreach, Dr. Lawrence Tete, has been raising concerns about persons who criticize the demolition of structures on the land to be used for the construction of the cathedral.
If it comes to National Cathedral, it should be devoid of political colors. As a matter of fact, this monument for me is for God and not for NDC, not for MPP. This is the time that we should come together in a massive united front to think about how we can protect and preserve the Christian heritage. As for me, building a national cathedral is like building a house of God. And so it doesn't matter whether you belong to NDC, MPP, CPP, or DPP. Building a cathedral for God is most important. People have asked, why are we breaking buildings? In fact, if you can break the whole of Accra and use it to build a house for God, it's not about Nanado. It's not about John Mahama. It's not about anybody. It's about God.
So you think it wouldn't be a misplaced priority to even break all the buildings in Accra to put up a national cathedral?
Oh, I will not mince my words. That let's break the whole of Ghana and build it into a church, and that will be a place of peace. As a matter of fact, if you want peace, cohesion, and unity, what will bring us together is the church.
What do you make of assertions out there that the resources that are going to be used to construct this cathedral, the money and everything, could be used to, there are a lot of schools under trees, there are a lot of communities without water, potable drinking water and all of that, hospitals without beds and all of that. What do you make of these suggestions?
Let me say this again. When it comes to National Cathedral and building for God, I will not politicize anything. The poor will always have. The people will always be in need. But as we build this thing, it will even be a safe haven for us to come together. It is in unity that lies power. So if we can come together to build, and let me say this again, it's not about NDC, MPP, or CPP. After all, forget about the political parties.
Dr. Lawrence Tete there. What do you think? Send us your messages to our WhatsApp platform 0540-109009. Let me tell you about a different story, but I'm still expecting your messages. The Fulani community in Ghana is seeking justice for 26 herdsmen who were killed across the country since August 2019, according to them. They say 600 cattle were butchered within the same period. According to the group, their complaints to the security seeking justice for families of the victims have not yielded any positive results.
One is Bagurugu. Bagurugu issue, what happened was that a farmer claimed that cattle came to destroy his farm. When we got there the next day morning, it was only one cow foot that we saw in the farm, only one that went to destroy his farm. And then he went and mobilized the whole youth and came and vandalized 65 homes in Bagurugu. We went there, we saw smokes were still, burning in the rooms. Animals were still burnt down. People, over 200 people, farm children, and all their birth certificates, health insurance, everything has been burnt to ashes. That is what we saw. And I have seen this myself. That's one. Secondly, there's a child who was, murdered recently in water, one farmer. We went there, this boy was still lying down in the water lake. I mean, it's so pathetic. We have to go there with the police, bring out the body, bring doctors to come and do postmortem for him to be released to us so that we can bury him. Because it's after 3 days. We saw this also. There are incidents that happened in Kintampoka Wampe area where we went. We saw about 4 Fulanis lying down dead. Animals did not destroy anybody's farm. Why should this be happening? We tell the police will say they will do investigation, and even some of the Fulanis do identify the people, but police doesn't do any arrest. As I'm talking to you now, the people in Bagurugu are still walking free. None of them has been arrested. And the whole 65 homes that was burnt, it was organized by over 100 youth. And those who led to the attack, they are still walking free. None of them have been arrested, not even a single day. The Northern Regional Police Command has, done nothing till now. And the government hasn't gone to their aid. They are still lying down openly since August till date, and the people are still lying down.
Well, President of the Council of the Fulani Chiefs, Alhaji Idrisu Bengal, is appealing to governments to intervene in the matter. He also says a timely intervention will calm tensions that is building up among the Fulani groups.
Do you intend to kill him? The only thing is that we report the person to the authorities for the law to take its course. People don't have to take the laws into their hand and do whatever they feel they will do and go scot-free. You understand? If you have a farm, and I also have a cattle, I'm a herdsman roaming in the bush, looking for food for my animal, and unfortunately my animal go astray and entered into your farm. What you have to do is to report to me to the authorities, and then I will be brought to book for what I have done. But if you take a gun and you start killing my animals, you see that you are also doing something against the law. So if I'm also armed and I'm standing, do you think I will stand aloof to look at you doing what you want to do? You see? So we are just bringing all this to the notices of the leadership of this country so that they will find a way, you understand, to bring us all together and see what best can be done to avoid all this. If somebody provoke you, do kill him. Even if somebody destroy your property, to invite them to come and for them to come and see what we are doing, so that if you tell them that please wait, then they will also, hear or listen to us, because after all, they've seen that no, we are doing something. We are sending message to the whole nobody than the first gentleman of the country. You get the point. So by so doing, we are also calming them down, because after all, if you don't do this and you tell them please, please, and you don't do anything for them to see, maybe they can go out of control. I'm here in Accra. Look at our front place, so many miles away. Look at Bogurugu in the northern region. If they go out of their way to do something, how can I stop them? So it's by all means, this means that we'll be able to bring them down so that they don't go to do something uncalled for. We are peace-loving people. We want to maintain peace and order. And so we are always talking to our people to take it cool, to take it whatever happens.
You're still watching The Pulse with me, Gifty and Up here. I'm taking a very quick break. When I return, we'll talk about scams and dealing with fake news. We're issuing an alert over a fake news item generated by a fraud marketing website purporting to be from an interview held here on this channel. It is a scam. We'll have details. We'll also tell you about how you can stay away from cyber fraud. Do stay. We'll be right back. You're welcome back to the show. Well, there's been an online publication attributed to JoyNews and Multi TV where myself, I'm said to have conducted an interview encouraging viewers to invest in Bitcoin. That article titled Multi TV JoyNews Gifty and Up here. This is crazy. Kojointri's financial interview would make Ghanaians rich. Is aggregated from a marketing fraud website. Today, we'll be discussing cyber fraud and how you can identify how they do their job or how they do their work to scam you, to steal from you. I have someone in the studio, Joseph Kwe. He's a cyber analyst from E-Crime Bureau. He'll help us understand how these fraudsters play their game. But before I get into that, Mr. Kwe, you are welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Let me just explain to you or indicate to you that that interview never happened. This interview has never happened here on JoyNews. The last time I interviewed Kojointri here on The Pulse was 2017, and we were talking about love, nothing about Bitcoin. That is a scam. They're using it to steal your money. But I am not an expert in that. I do have the expert here who can help us understand this. So, Mr. Kwe, you're welcome. I believe that you've seen the story yourself.
I have.
What are your general or initial assessment?
Well, I think one word I'll use to describe it is opportunistic.
Okay.
The way the whole thing was set up, they took advantage of a situation that was already there.
Okay. Which situation
so
was this?
in this situation, what I mean by that is, you know, we have a lot of websites in Ghana from news media agencies and several bodies.
Yeah.
But you see, no one really checks the digital space.
Okay.
So there are so many websites and legitimate companies that have, like, what do I say, duplicates of them online.
Okay.
Right? And the different names or sometimes similar names. So if I were to say a company that is called maybe GhanaBrokers.com, someone has probably gone to register Ghana Brokers and then has added another S.
Okay.
And has populated the website with the same content as the legitimate one.
Okay.
Good. So because no one checks the digital space for some of these things, I think that's the opportunity that the criminals saw as a chance to, you know, perpetrate this particular kind of activity.
Okay. So when so the first time I saw the story, I saw it on Ghana Web.
Yes.
And the Ghana Web credited the story to Graphic Online.
Yes.
So these are two credible institutions. But what you see now is a screenshot that I took from my computer. Now, if you look at this, it says Graphic Online. How is it possible that they'll be able to clone, if you like, something that looks like Graphic Online?
But it isn't.
Yes, it isn't.
Yes, good. So Ghana Web, from the story, I mean, Ghana Web picked up this non-existent interview from JoyNews from what they thought to be Graphic Online, only to go and find out that, you know, it only looked like Graphic Online in terms of everything looked like the same, the red banner and everything.
Yeah.
But you know, if you do website designing, right, you realize that these things are very easy. It's like designing any page.
So anybody can create
anyone.
This Graphic Online looking website,
right,
and just put something on it.
From A to Z, every single thing, the dots, every single thing. So that's what they did. And the site that was doing that was a website that I think the name is, I think it's Patagonia Speed. It is some weird. It has
and when you click it right now,
it doesn't exist.
It's gone off.
Because I think because of JoyNews and I believe the actions you've taken to try and arrest the situation, I believe their scam people have figured out. So this is typical criminal behavior. Okay. They are taking the site off and probably going to re-strategize for later.
Okay, which they have done, it seems, because there is another, or there are other websites I have seen, and I want to find some of those websites.
Okay, sure.
I think this one, if you could just go through the name again, the previous one.
The previous one's name is Patagonia Speed World.com.
It doesn't even make sense. It's what? Patagonia Speed?
Yeah, PatagoniaSpeedWorld.com. That's
okay.
The name.
So this is the first website where Ghana Web picked up the story from.
No. Oh yes, this is where Ghana Web picked up the story from, thinking it was Graphic Online.
It was Graphic Online.
Yes.
So they picked it up from here, thinking it was Graphic Online. They published it without verifying. So Ghana Web subsequently retracts that story and then apologizes. So if you click on this particular website, you don't see anything at the moment.
Yes,
but there is still other links. There are still other links that are going around on Facebook. Yesterday, I think I saw one of them. I'm just going to try and track them out. But today is my birthday, so I've received quite a number of messages.
Okay, happy birthday.
But I should still find that that link. That looks like another website.
It is on several websites. There's the Independent Ghana.
So what's that again? The Independence
Ghana.com, yes. And
IndependenceGhana.com.
Yes. And the reason why it happens, if I can explain,
yes,
the reason why it happens is in the digital space, at least when it comes to the media, someone will paste the main story and the rest of the media houses or the media people's own generated media website, they only aggregate the content.
Yeah.
So they will just pull the content and serve it on their own page. And sometimes credit where they took it from.
Okay.
So I suspect that is what is happening now. Even though the main culprit is down, the people who copied the information are still sending their information around.
The ones that they've copied already.
The one, yes. That's why they say the internet never forgets. Because if you put something there, people make copies of it. And by the time you take off the original, their copies are still remaining and they're still doing the harm in one way or the other.
Okay. Yes. In cases like this, how do you... Okay, I want to actually look at the content. Let's look at the content that they are sending around. It's supposed to be, it's a purported Bitcoin something.
Yes.
How do you understand this Bitcoin scam? that's contained in this publication?
Sure. I think Bitcoin as a business and how it works, you know, this is why I also call it an opportunistic scam.
Yeah.
Bitcoin and how it works, a lot of people don't understand it. They feel that it is shrouded in a lot of mystery.
Okay.
So right now, people are only building a lot of scams and calling it Bitcoin. Okay. So they basically want to do the same robbing Peter to pay Paul business, but they will say that it's a Bitcoin business. At the end of the day, it boils down to bring some money, we'll double it for you.
Yeah.
And the reason why we are doubling it is because Bitcoin is profitable. But if you look down to the details, it has nothing to do with Bitcoin. Yeah. They just slap the Bitcoin name on it because it's easy to dupe people through Bitcoin. Yes, because they don't understand it. All they know is that they see on the news, and one time Bitcoin's prices seem to be rocketing. So because of that, then they decide, okay, you know what, we are just going to build scams and call it Bitcoin related scams. People won't ask us questions. They don't want to. Even if you try to explain, what is this Bitcoin and blockchain, what are you talking about? They don't want to know. So that is, I think, what they are doing here.
Okay.
Yes.
If you go on and you read the story, it has this link there that anytime it mentions Bitcoin, it is a link that's encouraging you to click on it.
Yes.
When you click on it, it leads you to a site where you can then, it's asking you to make an investment, an initial amount of $250.
You get
what is this? What is the process? What goes through that? And will you be able to put in money?
Okay, so with respect to that, right, I don't want to mention that the website they are referring you to, the name. I don't want your viewers to go and check it out.
Great, that's
but it's this website, Bitcoin System something. And basically when you go there, then the offer is simple, okay? Give us money, okay, from $200 and upwards.
Yeah.
If you give us the money, we promise to double it in about a day. So 200 becomes 400 and something at the end of the day. That's it. How do you pay? Well, you can pay through virtual currency, which is the same Bitcoin that they are advertising, or you can pay through like your card and all of these things. As all of these, of course, obviously, as avenues to harvest people's information and all of that. But that is how the website works. Yes.
And when you pay that money, will you be able to track or trace to whom you pay that money if you did the payment online?
So they say that you should be able to do that, but when I checked on the reviews of people who have used the site, they were all saying that their money never came back. They promised that they would get access to a dashboard that they could track nothing of that happened. And what is confusing is that the same users of this same website, right? I mean, the creators of this website seem to have hired people to recommend the site and make it seem like
and so you see people when they share the link, I see people write, oh, I just tried it and it worked.
Yes, it's them. They are the same people behind it, and they are encouraging people to, because they know you go and Google it and try and learn about it. So if you see the reviews and you see that, oh, okay, so it seems people are it's a legitimate, and then you fall victim to it as well.
Okay, so then now let me come to, after I finished dealing with the content. So essentially the content is to lead you to a site where they will ask you to put in some details. At the end of the day, they are stealing your details, and apart from stealing your details, they're going to, if you should pay that money, it will never come back to you. So don't get scammed with this system.
They were saying JoyNews was recommending this.
Yeah, so they're actually saying, if you read this story, they're saying that JoyNews did it on this show, and after he did it, it worked. After a few hours, he got some money. JoyNews mentioned that he's gotten some money over a period of time, and then he asked me to try it, and then I tried it, and after a few hours, I made some money. That never happened.
It didn't. But what I find even fascinating is their wording and what they chose to say. They said that JoyNews, you gave the opportunity. They said you gave the opportunity for JoyNews to speak to the government.
Yes.
And JoyNews said that he has no words for the government because they've disappointed them.
Yes.
And because of that, he has created his own platform, which is this Bitcoin platform.
To help people make money.
But you see, this is what I mean by the opportunistic nature.
Yeah.
Because they sense that these criminals
they know that people don't have, I mean, people have raised concerns about there's this concern about, you know, economic difficulties for people, etc.
So
and
they
so they
find
play
it's
on
the
it.
best opportunity to slide themselves into this. People won't verify. If you look at the Facebook comments, because they didn't just market on only the website. And
they're actually from sponsored sites on Facebook.
Yes. No.
We'll talk about what you can do when you see these things on Facebook. But let's listen to, since we've mentioned JoyNews, Kojenchi himself has been very upset about this. He's been commenting. Listen.
It's been circulating on social media. My team, my management, we came out with a disclaimer because no such interview ever took place. And everyone knows that if I speak to anybody, it will be about entertainment. Yes, once in a while you drift off to talk about coronavirus and all that, but everything I do is centered on music. So there has never been an interview on Bitcoin. And that I had, no, nothing like that happened. I believe there are some scammers who are trying to. So people should disregard that information circulating on social media, Facebook and all those other platforms. It never happened. I have never granted any interview. I've never said anything about Bitcoin, and I don't know anything about Bitcoin. Yeah, I will not encourage that because, it's just fake news.
It's just fake news, very distressing fake news. And I don't know anything about Bitcoin. I've never done anything about Bitcoin. So let's come back to you. You heard Kojenchi say this is circulating on social media. How do you, I find myself as a victim to this fake news. How do you control the share or the spread of these links? Is it possible?
Okay, so I think with regards to that, that is for people like you who are content creators and journalists. How do you control the things that are attributed to you that are not you don't have? I think this interview with Kojenchi is one of the best illustration of that. You go to the source, you understand. You get to the source and let them clarify their position on what it is that is going on. But you see, in order to do that, you need to know what is going around. And that is why we also, I will recommend, or from my company's perspective, we recommend that companies need to, in this modern world, have a digital presence everywhere. It doesn't matter whether as a policy, you don't think you know how to Twitter or you don't know how to use Instagram. You need to be there. Because when these stories hit, these are the places they are distributed through. So the moment you see them, then you need to address them. That is where the sources come into play. So now the source can say that, hey, that is going around. We are not the ones behind it. And it is you are able to arrest it before it becomes viral. So I think that is one of the best strategies in dealing with this. Have a digital presence. Be online and know what is happening within the space. Because fake news, unfortunately, is never going anywhere. Yes. So
since it's never going anywhere, let's look at the bigger picture. How do we identify fake news? Now, you see this one. Someone who works at Ghana Web, who I suppose is a journalist, saw this story, took it, reproduced it on their website without cross-checking. How do you, for example, for this person who works at Ghana Web that saw it, how would they have known that this is fake news?
Okay, so with regards to how they would have known it's fake news, I think it helps to verify. First and foremost, we always say the statement that if something is too good to be true, it awfully is. It applies also to information in the sense that information that doesn't happen often, when it happens and it's strange, it's something that you need to put a question mark on, at least till you verify. Because Kojenchi has said that. And I don't expect Kojenchi to be talking about Bitcoin. But here is Kojenchi talking about Bitcoin. That means it's strange. We need to verify the story. So how do they verify it? Well, there are several technical things you can do right now, but I can recommend a website, at least to the media stations.
Please do.
It's scamdoc.com.
Scamdoc, as in SCAMDOC.com.
Good.
Scamdoc.com.
Yes.
Scamdoc.com. It's very funny, Yes.
I wouldn't say that they are the holy grail or the perfect solution to this, but what they do is that they verify the identities of websites, right, and domains that exist there in terms of the level of trust. So they have some categories or some things they used to measure. Maybe one category may be that the website, how long was it created? Because, for example,
so here is scamdoc.com. What do you do?
So as Scamdoc, I think you see a part where you go to the center of the page, right?
The center of the page,
There's a part where you can type a website name
there. So you can copy a link.
You can put the domain, the website name. So you can put my job online there and then say, they will give you a trust value, based on certain things that they measure, maybe people's involvement, interaction with the site, how popular it is, and several things. Even the website, when it was registered.
Okay.
Because you find that these people were doing the scam, you check their website, all the things they were recommending you to, and the sites were registered just 6 months ago.
Okay.
Usually when you see these kind of things, it tells you that someone is trying to do some kind of criminal activity and exit as soon as possible. So they will take all these factors and give a rating. And based on the rating, I think it can give you some level of trust on how much you can really, verify some, like trust this particular source you are putting
a few analytics for you to have an idea what you're dealing with.
In a case whereby you are dealing with known figures, it's a matter of picking up a phone and calling and finding out some of these things, especially when you need to verify a story. Yes,
that's true. Well, so we're trying we're trying to check on analysis of my Joy Online.
Yes, so you see it ranks 40%. Now the ranking that you see here, that's what I'm saying, that this is not like the full, should I say, it's a full trusted system, because they are using some system to calculate. But they are looking at, then you see the part in green. That tells you some of the things that make the website more trustworthy. Okay. If you are seeing ratings less than 10% or 5% for any website, then that site, I wouldn't say they are bad. I would just say that deal with them with caution.
With caution.
Okay. So any of the websites that were involved in this scam, if you put them there, all of them should score a 1%.
They should score a 1%. We can try that and see how it goes. But on social media, people are sharing it. I saw several people shared it. Several people wrote to me asking me. Some people actually say they want to, invest. Some people say they wanted to find out if it's true. How do you stop the spread? And sometimes you see them on Facebook, for example, on sponsored pages. What do you do? I'll click and report to Facebook. But what else can I do?
Unfortunately, after you report to Facebook and you wait for them to take down somebody, because Facebook has said they want to take fake news very seriously. I think the best you can do is try to inform the groups that you are in, about what you just did. This is a story that is going around. It is fake, and I have flagged it as a report on Facebook. It helps when people aggregate the report. So multiple people are reporting. It makes Facebook take it seriously, and then they act on it faster. So then with your followers, you inform them about the same thing. They do the same process. They block or they report to them, and then it's likely to be taken off the propagation space on Facebook.
Okay. All right. So the more people report, the more likely it is to be taken down by Facebook completely. All right. But just one quick thing that still amuses me. How are they able to create a particular website, use it for this fraudulent activity, close it down after they realize that they've been found out, and create another website, and then create another website with the same story and keep sharing?
So when it comes to creating a website, at least the basics is that you have to register the website's name, which is usually called a domain. If there's myjoyonline.com, that is your domain. That is where you can find your website. If I want to create a scam, I will go and register a name, and I'll try different names that sound like yours. The rules state that as far as that name is not registered by anyone, I can take it. And I can take it for a period. So if I plan on spreading false information, which I suspect we should see more of heading into the election year, you see websites springing up with all sorts of Ghana names. GhanaIndependentThinker.com. So many of those things. They will register it for a short period, and then they are going to use it for some of these things. And then once you've registered the domain, then it's about putting a website's content there. What do you put there? You can create your own content, or if you are trying to mimic a legitimate source, then you only go to their website, see how they've designed theirs, and try and mimic the same thing, hoping that users will not have time to verify the name of your website. You'll just see, oh, this looks like Joy FM, Joy TV, this looks like, and then go with it.
Did it surprise you that something like this, as ridiculous as it sounded to me the first time I saw it, people will actually take it seriously and actually believe that it's possible?
It didn't surprise me a little bit. It didn't, because we've been taught before the internet and computers that seeing is believing, right? But the digital space has changed that rule. Seeing is not believing. People can fake anything so easily, especially in the digital space. So, but people still have the traditional mindset. So the moment they see, it looks like joy, it looks like a duck, it quacks like a duck, it is a duck. So that's the rationalization.
Well, as a cyber analyst, I'm really grateful that you've been able to take us through this thing. If you have any final words, maybe some words for our viewers, you can go ahead with that.
Okay, so at the end of the day, I think what I would say is basically iterating on what I've said to this point.
Right.
At the end of the day, you can't really trust information just as face value. You can't trust, at least to some certain of degree, from some sources that you trust. But for some news items that seem a bit out of the blue, that doesn't, especially the person saying it's not what they typically say.
Yeah.
I think it calls for verification, and it doesn't help, it doesn't harm to go and then Google or ask for other users what they think about it in regards to these things.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much for sharing that with us. Well, I hope that you will not be scammed. Please do not send me any message asking to join any Bitcoin program. I am not doing Bitcoin. It is a scam. If you go on the website and you put in your money or you put in your details, they are stealing your details and they're going to steal your money eventually if you do put any money there at all. I've been doing this with Joseph Kwe. He's a cyber analyst, helping us to understand how these scammers work to steal your details and to steal your money. Away from that, let's look at crime and what Parliament is saying about it. Well, Volta Regional Parliamentary Caucus has offered a 15,000 bounty for information leading to the arrest of assailant who murdered the Assembly member of Sogakope South, Marcus Mauto Adali. The Member of Parliament for Northstone, Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa, made the disclosure when he led the caucus and some Volta Regional Executive of the National Democratic Congress to commiserate and sympathize with the bereaved family. This adds up to the 10,000 bounty from the Assembly and an additional 25,000 offered by former President Jerry John Rawlings. Mr. Blakwa, who described the murder incident as barbaric and heinous, fears the police might not get enough evidence to track down the assailants due to the unprofessional handling of the crime scene.
Volta Caucus in Parliament, together with the Regional National Democratic Congress of the Volta region, have been here in Sogakope on a fact-finding mission to ascertain for ourselves the circumstances leading to the barbaric and very heinous murder of the young man Mauto, who until his unfortunate demise was the assembly member of this area. We have also been commiserating with his family. We've met his parents. We've met the external family, and we have been presenting to them our condolences and conveying to them our deep, deep sympathies. We have also met with the district chief executive, who is the chairman of DISEC in Southton. We've also met with the divisional commander. We have also proceeded to the crime scene to see for ourselves where the whole unfortunate barbaric murder took place, and we have indicated our reservations about even how the crime scene has been left unprotected. Evidence is being destroyed, and we don't think that the way the crime scene is being managed will help to unravel the mystery behind this murder. We have also been announcing our own efforts to support the whole search for the perpetrators and to ensure that they are apprehended and brought to justice. And so the caucus has conveyed to the divisional police commander, the family, and the DCE for Southton that we are presenting or making available 15,000 Ghana cedis to support the ransom, which will be presented to whoever volunteers information leading to the apprehension and prosecution of the heinous crime which has shocked the nation. We also want to use this opportunity to thank all those who have been working around the clock to ensure that justice is served. We want to thank former President Rawlings, who has also donated 25,000 Ghana cedis, the founder of our party. And you know that he is one of the prominent citizens of this district, South Tong. He comes here often, and this assembly member will have served him if he was alive. And so we want to commend him highly for his gesture as a statesman. It's a very worthy example. We also want to commend the vice chairman of the NDC in South.
Member of Parliament for North Tongo, Kujetua Blackwater, Mr. Azali was stabbed and shot to death in a robbery incident in the early hours of Sunday. His wife and one of his daughters survived the attack with knife and gunshot wounds. His daughter has some bullets removed from her head at the South Tong District Hospital in Sugakope. Komla Adome is in Sugakope and will join us shortly live. But he has been assessing the impact on businesses in the area. He was at the toll booth.
International highway from Accra through Sugakope through to Aplao. Now, this highway is very important for many reasons. One, it is the route that many individuals ply when they are headed for neighboring countries such as Togo, Burkina Faso, and Benin. Now, according to officials of the Roads and Highways Authority and those who manage the toll booths here, on Sunday when the protest erupted following the killing of the assembly member for the area, there was a gridlock here, heavy gridlock, I have to say, and it resulted in some revenue losses. According to officials, a target of 4,852 cedis, which was supposed to have been realized from tolls on this stretch, was not achieved. The toll operators were only able to realize an amount of 2,000 cedis, 825 pesos. Now, according to officials, this is a shortfall of 1,700 cedis in revenue due to the protest by the angry youth. Now, as if that was not enough, on Monday, the protests renewed again. And here, the officials had to flee the toll booths because we are told that the angry residents burnt tires and, burnt wood and many other missiles here at the police barrier. According to what we're learning, on Monday morning, or by close of day Monday, an amount of 4,794 cedis was to have been realized. But as a result of the long hours of wait and delay here because of the protests, the officials were only able to realize 3,000 cedis, 609 cedis. Now, this is the reason why this particular stretch is very important, and for the reason why the residents also decided to, of all the things to do in protest, block this stretch to traffic. We are told by the local authorities here that they have been speaking to the youth of the area to attempt a resolution on this matter so they do not have the youth storm this area and block the roads again.
Komla Adom with that report there. We're hoping to reach out to him once again. But in the meantime, police in Sugakope are dismissing claims that they fired live rounds at angry residents on Monday during the protest over the killing of the assembly member Marcus Ajali. The district chief executive for South Tong, Emmanuel Agama, says the police are probing the matter. Now, if you recall, the police has taken quite some time in bringing out this information. They tell us they're still making inquiries to bring us detailed information from their investigation. Let's go over and speak to Komla Adom, who has been to the scene for us. Hello, Komla. Komla, let's start with those who were shot or those who received gunshot wounds and were treated at the hospital. Give us an update.
Hello, Gipsy. I lost you. Can you come again, please?
Yes, I'm asking for an update. We're starting with those who were hit by the stray bullets, according to them.
Okay, so Gipsy, we are told by the district chief executive that upon their visit to the hospital, they were told that the 3 individuals have been discharged. So the officials of the assembly are now going to pay a visit to them in a couple of hours. And then they have promised to take up the medical bills of these 3 individuals who were hit by the bullets from the police. So we know that at least one of them is a female. And then the 2 others are also male. So she's been told by Mr. Emmanuel Agama, with the DC for the area, that, well, they are in stable condition now, and they have also opened a probe to ascertain whether indeed the police fired live rounds into the crowd which injured these individuals, or rubber bullets were dispensed as the police is
denied that they did fire live ammunition into the crowd. What else have they been saying?
Well, in my interaction with the district chief executive, he tells me that there's been a series of security meetings over the last 3 days, all ostensibly in a move to beef up the security situation in the neighborhood. We know, of course, that the agitations were sparked following the murder of the assembly member for the area, Mauto Ajahi. Now, the district chief executive tells me that, among other things, they have resolved to mount checkpoints along the highway. Now, Gipsy, this highway, we know, is very important because it hosts a lot of commuters who are using this stretch from Accra to neighboring countries, Togo, Benin, Burkina Faso, etc. And so they say they're going to be mounting roadblocks and checkpoints, advantage points on the highway to check people who come in and out of the town. We know also that the Gakapa place hosts to a lot of resort and tourist attraction sites. And so this is one of the reasons why perhaps robberies and break-ins are rampant here, because the people suspect that people who are coming in on sightseeing or coming to visit or coming for leisure are carrying valuables, and so they are attacked. So DC tells me they're going to mount these checkpoints to deal with that. 2, he says that because it's a highway, the speeding on the stretch is overwhelming sometimes, and so they're going to also put ramps, also advantage points. He speaks about also getting police personnel deployed to the area. So one of the issues the residents raised at the press conference on Sunday was that the policemen here are inadequate to deal with the numbers of the residents. So they tell us that, for example, 30 police personnel were transferred from this place. And since the transfer of these 30, they've not had equal number of police brought back to the community. So there's a shortfall. But DC assures that they're going to speak to the Accra region to deploy people to come to deploy more men to this area so they beef up the situation. Now, when I got here, I got to the police station where the hostilities occurred on Monday. You could see a lot of destruction to property, but then you could also see a crowd control vehicle and some 5 or 6 police officials stationed along the stretch just around where the exchanges happened on Monday. So it's a raft of measures the Assembly says it is rolling out to attempt to beef up the security situation here.
We have a statement here. Speaking of the relationship between the police and the people, the residents had given the police a 3-day ultimatum to take some actions, and there is a statement here. Do you want to give us a wrap of it, or do you want us to go through it here, and then we'll come back to you?
Okay, so one of the things stated in the statement, you know that the 3-day ultimatum elapsed or expired yesterday, and one of the opinion leaders, who is Maxo Mitako, now he says, for example, that the relationship between the police and the residents has gone frosty over the last few weeks. Also because of the claims by the residents that over time, whenever there is a robbery or an attack on anybody in the area, it takes a long while for the police to respond to them. And so the residents have essentially lost trust. There was a question I pushed the DCE about the seeming mistrust that the residents have for the police. He says they are working to fix that problem because without the police, really, the community members cannot live. And the reason why the police are there is to provide and protect property and life. And so once the residents fall out with the police, it becomes very difficult to ensure security in the area. So he says, for example, they are taking some of the men through some man management skills. They are also looking at beefing up the numbers here. And then also the new individuals who are going to be transferred here to add to the numbers are going to, ensure that all the issues that are raised and the rest and the concerns they have relating to security in the area will be dealt with. But the DC also mentions that over the last 2 years, police in the area have been able to apprehend some suspects of crime. He gives some examples that in one instance, robbers broke into a home, stole some property and raped an 18-year-old in the process. The police apprehended the suspects and then put them court. He also cites another instance where there was a highway robbery situation. He says police were able to apprehend the suspect and they are before court. So he cites a number of things to respond to the opinion leaders that it is not the case that the police are sitting here and not doing anything about the situation of the people, but rather they are working and they just need more collaboration with the community folk. We also know from the statement that was issued by Maxwell Lukutor, for example, that one of the things they speak about, one of the things they want to have addressed is night patrols in the area, which is one of the things that DC tells me has been instituted. So they have the police patrols here at night, at the checkpoints, also at the barriers, at the toll booths, etc. So that's one of the issues that they've addressed. Also, another thing the DC tells us that they have resolved to do is to carry out checks, map checks at night, specifically people who are on motorbikes, people who ride through town at night. They're going to be carrying out map checks, to check if any of these individuals may be carrying weapons or may be carrying looted material of sorts, and then they can be able to track wrongdoing in the area. So those are just a number of issues that officials in the assembly say they are, urgently working at.
Well, before I let you go, Komla, quickly, what did you see when you got there today? How is we know that calm has been restored, but generally, give us a brief mental picture of what you saw when you got there today.
Right, so just get into town. Activities have returned to normal. Students are returning to the students of the highway. Those of you who use this road a lot, you know that when you get to the barrier, just after the bridge, a lot of business activities go on here. Food vendors, those who sell yam, those who sell apollo, those who sell fish, those who sell food, all of them are back at work, doing business as usual. Right. Even at the spot where the car tires were bent and the demonstration happened, all the traders are back there doing their work. But when you move into town proper and you move towards the residence of the late assembly member, that is where you sense grief, you sense anger, you sense, emotions of a community looking for answers. You find, people trooping into the home of the assemblyman, for example. Every 5 minutes, people are coming in to understand for themselves exactly what happened. Because just to remember, we are told that this man in question was a man of the people. He was a philanthropist. He was the assembly member, a very popular young man in the area, owned multiple businesses. And has also employed many people in the process. And so his killing cut short a line of livelihoods of young people here, and those young people are wondering where they're going to get their food, having their benefactor passing through these tragic circumstances. And so for that area, the aspect of people who lived close or knew the late Ajayi closely, it's emotions they cannot control. They are just asking themselves questions and wondering if they could ever be closer on this particular matter.
Well, we're looking at a 60,000 in total bounty placed on the head of those who perpetrated this crime. So we hopefully should find something along during the week next week. Komla, thank you. Komla Adom brought us that report from Sogakope, where he's checking on the ground what is happening there. Away from that, let me bring you back to talk about Arrive Alive. It was a normal day. 37-year-old Dennis Ayimbila was heading to Bolgatanga for the burial of his father, but a crash midway robbed him of the opportunity to say his final goodbye. It also robbed him of his joy, as a spinal injury has made him lose his ability to control his discharge of urine and feces. Maxwell Agbagba has more in the story for our Arrive Alive campaign to stop accidents on Ghana's roads.
I am in Dennis's room. His sister Gloria is trying to get him in a reclining position for this interview, but the pain is simply unbearable. A tube-like device that stores his urine lies on the floor close to him. He sits to narrate to me how a speeding driver truncated his aspirations in his final year of studies to become a medical practitioner.
the police report that I managed to get, when you read the police report, they were saying that the driver of the trailer was the one who caused the accident because he was over speeding and then was sleeping at the same time. Some of the people got trapped in the bus, so they were trying to chisel and be able to get some out, though they were even dead. And in the process of doing, the bus caught fire. And then our driver is missing other people to ashes, living with only their schools.
He sustained a spinal injury which affected his ability to control urine flow and excreta.
Yeah, I can't control. Yeah, I can't control it. That's why the urine bag is connected. Yeah, if I were to be able to control, there's something that if I feel like urinating, I will just take it in, put in and urinate. Yeah.
So now you don't feel anything?
I don't feel my lower limbs, I don't feel anything. It just comes by it all. It just comes by it all. The same thing to when I'm going on private, it comes just like that. But, so as I sit, I have to be checking myself and all that. I've been confined to one place. Even as I talk to you now, I have vision problems. You can imagine somebody just lying at one place for 10 years, 10 years. Even as I'm talking to you, I can't see you clearly. I have vision problems now. I'm even losing my sight gradually. My life is going waste. My life is going waste. And at this my age, I still have a long way to go in life. So I'm really appealing to the general public, appealing to Ghanaians, and even the rest of the world, that anybody who watches me should please come to my aid. Please come to my aid.
His 25-year-old sister, Gloria Labrob, says she had to drop out of school to take care of her brother who used to fund her education.
To take care of him. If he want water, I'm the one who remove and give it to him. He cannot do anything. Because of that, I'm not going anywhere. Just sitting at home. I'm not doing anything. My colleagues have finished school, some are working. Look at me. Now I'm in the house. I'm not doing anything.
A pastor at the Divine Faith Ministries, Reverend George Carty, has been trying to get support for Dennis.
I know him from but when I saw him, honestly, his story really moved me. So I continue to intercede on his behalf, prayer day in, day out. He can't do anything for the past 10 years. He's just confined to one place. He cannot do anything. We know God is able to do all, but he needs medical attention, financial assistance. He needs financial support. So anybody watching, anywhere you are watching from, he needs financial support.
That's certainly somewhere you don't want to get to. Arrive alive, that's the hashtag. The first batch of prison inmates who are pursuing tertiary education through distant learning will be taking their first semester exams this weekend. The program dubbed the Prison Inmates Tertiary Education Project, PTEP, was introduced in the 2019-2020 academic year by Plan Builder Foundation, led by Prince Solomon Stuff, in partnership with the Ghana Prison Service and the University of Cape Coast. The Ghana Prison Service, over the years, has provided the inmates the opportunity to be taught and write the JHS as well as the SHS certificate examinations only. Joining me in the studio is the Executive Director of the Prison Inmates Tertiary Education Program, Solomon Stuff. Mr. Stuff, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
So, I mean, I'm very excited about this project. I find it very intriguing that people who have been in prison get a second chance. But I just want to find, I'm a bit curious, why is it only SHS and JHS?
No, what we are introducing is not JHS or SHS. It's rather university programs.
Right.
We, in collaboration with University of Cape Coast, we are extending UCC distance education.
Which we saw. I mean, we saw the matriculation. Yeah. But then why was it that they were only able to write JHS exam and SHS exams?
Previously?
Yes.
You have to start from somewhere and get to somewhere. So previously, that was the opportunities given to them.
Okay.
You know, it's difficult to move this to that level.
Okay, to the tertiary level.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that in detail, but tell us generally, how is it going?
It's going very fine. We are very privileged to have very understanding officers of University of Cape Coast. When we sent a proposal to them, they were very happy and they accepted it. And again, the prison service authorities were also very happy. They gave us all the necessary support to make sure that the program was successfully executed.
What was it that drove you to do this, you and the people who are involved in it? What was it, I mean, what brought this up?
Okay. Plan Vita Foundation, as part of our core object, is to make impact in the life of underprivileged, basically through education. And we know that the prisoners are the most underprivileged people. Okay, you are a free person. You can walk into any university and then decide to take up admission there. But if you don't move, you don't send this opportunity to inmates, they will be there until their kingdom comes.
And when their time is over, they go back home and there's nothing.
There's nothing. And then we all know that a prisoner today may be your next door neighbor. If a prisoner comes out, what will be the life for him? Now, I remembered a certain boy who was 19 years and has finished SSC and was about to go to university and was incarcerated for 13 years. Now, this person who spent 13 years in prison will now come out and start university education when? But now, whilst in prison, he will be able to acquire diploma or degree program so that his life will be a better.
This is a great initiative by all standards. Indeed, prison or punishment is supposed to reform people. And so when they get there, they should be able to be reformed. But I wonder, how does it work? Do they come to school, or do the teachers at the University of Cape Coast go to the prison to teach them?
Good. We go there to teach them every weekend. You know, this is a weekend school. So lecturers from University of Cape Coast come down to teach them. And then we also have officers who have the requisite qualification to teach. And some of the prisoners themselves also have requisite qualification
to teach.
So all these people.
So you have people who have the university lecturer positions who are in prison who help.
Yeah.
Wow, that sounds amazing. I think we should bring our camera there and take a look at how the teaching is done.
That would be amazing.
That would be indeed. How are the prisoners responding to this intervention?
As you said, I wish you go there with your camera to capture and interview them. They are very, very happy. I quite remember the first day they wrote the first quiz. They were to use pen to shade. One of them used pencil to shade. And then they told him that his paper will not be recognized. And then he knelt down and started weeping. Said, "This is my life. Please, this is my life." So they are so happy that, because they know with this one, when they come out from prison, they have hope. There's something better they can do. And so they are so happy. Anytime we go there, they shower blessings upon us. They are always happy that this program has come to them.
Okay. And I mean, I'm sure with every project there are challenges. What are some of the challenges you faced? And you're doing this with University of Cape Coast, with the prison service. And who else is supporting? Which state organization or state institution is supporting?
Currently, nobody is supporting. It's the Plan Vita Foundation who is paying or making all the expenses now. This is because since we started, we did not come on air to advertise it. We were doing everything underground until the matriculation. So now we are, but we've written letters to many organizations. Trust me, some people did not believe that what we were telling them was real or true. So they were a bit skeptical until the matriculation. So now people are happy to support. Nobody is supporting this. So you mentioned a challenge. The challenge is human resource. Human resource because our team members are 4. We are all working. Myself, I'm working as I'm a HR practitioner in a particular organization. So I have less time to go around soliciting for funds as well as follow up on the letters we've written. So we need somebody who will be doing that for us. Again.
So you need volunteers.
We need volunteers.
Or you need volunteers, or you need money to employ somebody.
That is volunteer human resource number 1. Number 2 basically is money. Money because we need to pay the expenses related to this, the tuition fee, admission fee, and the teachers' allowances. You understand? So we've paid some. We still owe University of Cape Coast.
Okay.
To
Couldn't the University of Cape Coast have partnered you in a way that they waive? So in schools, I don't know how it's done here, but in schools abroad, if they're doing a scholarship program, for example, and it's a government scholarship, the school will waive the fees. So then all you have to do is take care of you. Can the University of Ghana go into partnership with you where they...
University of Cape Coast.
University of Cape Coast, sorry, where they waive the fees, and then perhaps all you have to do is some allowances for the lecturers who have to come every now and then. Isn't that a possibility?
University of Cape Coast has given us a lot of concession. We are still in talks to give us further concessions. So yeah, I know we'll get there. And then again, when we talk about challenges, again, I'll talk about that. We need money. So we appeal to the general public, corporate bodies, religious bodies, and civil society organizations to support us.
Okay.
If every person or worker in Ghana here will donate something small every month, will go a long way to sustain the program.
Okay, something small is how much in this context?
It depends on the numbers. Depends on the numbers.
But no, but something small. I mean, you know how much you need. So if everybody, you say if every Ghanaian, every worker will donate something small, in this something small, what are we looking at? So
before I can mention that, let me talk about the budget, annual budget we have. Our annual budget is 199,000 Ghana cedis.
199,000
Ghana cedis this very academic year.
Okay.
And it is expected to double next academic year and to triple next academic. The reason being that while these people move to the second level, another group comes. And so we are doing 3 years for the meantime, for the diploma. So it's going to be tripled.
Wow.
And so we are looking at about, by the end of the third year, when we have full session, we are looking at about 597,000 Ghana cedis.
Wow.
You understand?
Wow.
So if we have the numbers donating, if we can donate 50 cedis, 5 cedis, 10 cedis every month, the numbers are large, then we'll be able to sustain, and that is mentally. Again, if we have corporate bodies that will make budget allocation for us, that maybe every month they are giving us so much, or every year they are giving us so much, we'll be happy. You can decide to sponsor 10 people, 10 of the inmates or 5 of the inmates.
That's possible.
And your colleague can also do that.
That's possible. Anything is possible as far as we trust God to provide. So we're essentially looking at supporting prisoners in prison who are also taking lectures to become, they're going to attain what? Degrees, first degrees, diplomas?
Diploma, first degree, and others.
Diplomas, first degrees. I believe that for now you're looking at people who are attaining diploma and first degrees.
Yeah.
So these are, I believe, the accounts through which people can support.
Exactly.
Is the prison council not supporting financially?
We are in talks. They've given a green light to support. They will support.
So, because they show support. These are people we're looking to reform. So as much as they can, they show support. But I'll have you go through the details you have of your bank account. And perhaps if you have mobile money, people may be able to send you something. I don't know. But yeah, let's go through what we have here.
Now, if you want to support us and give us something, kindly send money through this very account that I'm going to mention. Ghana Prison Service account number 101 86 31 53 24 27, Bank of Ghana.
Okay.
Let me repeat. Ghana Prison Service 101 86 31 53 24 27, Bank of Ghana. And please, if you are paying any money, indicate that it is Prison Tertiary Education Program.
That looks like a mouthful. Prison Tertiary Education. I think what we can do is put out your contact number.
Contact number.
So if people want to be a part of it, you know, they can. So let's go with the number. What's the number?
0244
0244
226
226
444
444.
I repeat.
0244 226
444. And it's registered on mobile money as well.
Okay. So if you're looking to support this project, we're essentially looking to support prisoners who are taking education to become somebody, you know, attain a degree, a diploma, so that when they come out you remember that there was this Justice for All program, and some of them when they have been asked to go out. Some of them, when they have attained freedom, end up back in prison because they go back into criminal activity. This is one of the ways that it is hoped people who are in prison will be reformed. They come out, they have some skill, they have a certificate with which they can look for a job, so they don't have to go back into crime. If you want to support this project, the number to call is 0244 226 444. That's 0244 226 444. It's also a mobile money if you want to contribute. I think we should have more of this conversation so we know how to reach out.
You have another GCB number also.
Okay. Well, the number, it looks a bit long, but we can still go through. This is a GCB account number.
Another one.
Okay. So here is a GCB number that you can contribute to us if you want to. It is 1031180000865. So that's 10-311-80,000-865. 10-311-80,000-865. It is GCB, and you have to indicate that it is going to the Prisoners Tertiary Education Program. Prisoners Tertiary. I'm sure when you mention the prisoners, they will know what to do. Now, what you're seeing on your screen are prisoners who are into music. Very beautiful program. It was actually at the matriculation event, and they took over. You see the wonderful work they're doing there. If only they can get the second chance to reform themselves, to come back and be better people. So we call it a wrap here. We're really hopeful that we'll be able to have more of these conversations so we can get people on board, and also the council, the police council will be able to help. Any final words?
Yeah, my final words is that we should avoid the stigmatization. Somebody asked me yesterday that when the prisoner finishes this program, who is going to employ an ex-convict?
They can create their own employment.
Yeah, we are training them to become entrepreneurs. Two, as somebody who has been an ex-convict and has been employed, I'm telling you, will exhibit high level of loyalty and hard work. I know somebody who was an ex-convict and has won Best Worker Award 3 consecutive times because of hard working and loyalty. And so those people can work very hard. You can trust them. So we should avoid the stigma. We should just help them. They are writing exam this weekend. We need calculators. We need basic stationery. So we should support them.
Okay.
Please.
All right.
So I expect you to give me 10 calculators.
That's not a problem. Okay. I've been talking to Solomon Stuff. He's the head of the Prisoners Tertiary Program, Prisoners Tertiary Education Program. And they're looking for help. Next week, they're writing exams. They need calculators. They need stationery. If you can help, join me and let's do this. Okay. Thank you very much for coming. And we wish them all the best, especially in their exams. Now, 2 police officers detailed to arrest a suspect at Kantamanto in the Central Business District have been stabbed by the man they were sent to arrest. The suspects we're told, pulled out a knife and stabbed the policeman in the left jaw and head. The suspect has had to be shot to demobilize him, with the policeman now receiving treatment in the hospital. Public Relations Officer of the Accra Region Police, DSP Efiatenge, joins us with details. DSP Efiatenge, thanks for your time this afternoon. Can you give us more details of this incident? And first of all, what is the state of the suspect?
Yes, thank you very much. The 2 police officers and also the suspect are receiving treatment for the hospital. And from the briefing that the regional commander, together with some officers, had from the medical officers when the police visited them this afternoon, indicates that they are in a stable condition.
So they are in a stable condition. 2 police officers, they were arresting 1 person. How was it that they were overpowered?
Please, I can't get you. Can you speak a bit louder?
Yeah, I'm just wondering how, if you can help us understand the circumstances under which the police officers were overpowered and stabbed by this gentleman who was to be arrested.
Yes, if I'll give you details of this incident. This morning around 11 a.m., some police officers were detailed to effect the arrest of this man. Suspect, we have his name as One Moses Asamoah. And in the course of the arrest, he drew knives in his back pocket and stabbed the officers. One of them was stabbed in the head and also in the hand. Then the other was also stabbed on the jaw or around the jaw area. And so he was shot when his attempt to also stab the third officer failed. And in the process, they maintained resilience and contained the situation and managed to leave the scene, as some supporters of the suspect also wanted to attack the police officers.
What was the nature of the crime that this suspect committed?
The nature of what?
What crime did he commit? For which reason he was being arrested?
This morning, the police had a call, a distress call, from the mother of the suspect. And that, according to the mother, the son had come to him demanding for some money. And to her, this is a number about the second or third time the son is coming to him to demand for the money. And so he realized that the son was daring, was struggling with him, was insisting that at all costs he wanted this money. And previous money that he has given him has yielded nothing. So since he realized that the son was daring and he was likely to be overpowered, he called the police officers to rescue her and also assist in that regard. Unknown to the police officers, the son had with him a very sharp knife in the pocket, and without any confrontation, without any provocation, he drew the knife out of the pocket and stabbed them in the process. So this is the account we have so far.
Okay. You do say that the police officers are receiving treatment. I believe they are well?
Yes. According to the doctors, they are well. Initially, they were bleeding profusely, and they were able to stabilize them, and now they are responding to treatment. But the one thing that I would like to say is that when the suspect was being arrested at the Kantamanto area there, we had some friends or some folks of the suspect who wanted to attack the police in the process. This act, this behavior of us, to me, is uncivilized. It is rather the public that needs to support the police in their efforts, especially when they are effecting a lawful arrest, especially when they are performing their lawful duty. But to have people to now instigate others against the police, it's not welcome. And it's something that we really have to speak against. Tomorrow will be exactly 1 week that one of our officers were run over by a commercial vehicle. And as I speak to you now, the driver has not been found. The police officer is a sign and a symbol of authority that needs to be respected. And the police officer is not there for his own sake. He is there for the general good of the public. So for the public to support the police officers, and we're having incidents and cases where people are now, coming together against the police officer for doing the right thing. It's something that is uncalled for.
Right.
I think it's primitive, and we really have to speak against this.
DSP Fiastenge, thank you very much, and I wish your counterparts a speedy recovery. We'll still keep an eye on that story, still developing. We'll bring you details in our subsequent bulletins as and when it's available to us. Now, the Accra Metropolitan Assembly has shut down the Xavier Academy, a primary school, after it discovered more than 100 pupils there studied in a poorly ventilated facility. The school, located in Chimwena here in the Greater Accra region, was closed down after the Joy Clean Ghana team also found out that the 120 pupils shared only 2 chamber pots. This comes after the team inspected the school 2 weeks ago.
Few meters away, we hear loud screams of children. We found a wooden structure. The school has been partitioned into 7 classrooms. Here, over 100 students were housed from kindergarten to junior high school. A teacher took us on a tour of the school named The Savior.
Up to JHS.
Up to JHS?
Yeah.
So, class 1 to pieces. Where is 1 to pieces? 1.
It is 1.
No, I want to see class 1. Where is class 1?
The back.
Class 1. Class 2. 2 and 3.
2 and 3.
2 and 3 is together. So you have 2 and 3 together. And how many in a class?
21.
21. Class what and what? Class 2 and 3.
The noise in the building was deafening, leaving Inspector Asitanga wondering how the teachers and students cope.
Fan, no nothing. Ventilation, very difficult. Look at how the place is warm. Is it hot or not?
It is hot.
Huh?
Hot.
And you put this, you pack this kit here. Look at,
they have their own fan.
Where is it? So this one, this is their fan. So they are packed here, and this is their blackboard. Look at the lighting here. See how it's very dark. Yes. Have you seen how it's dark? So hello. Quiet. You see how the place is dark? You are indirectly, visually causing harm to their eyes, their visibility. Are you aware? Because their eyes are not yet strong. To be forced to read the blackboard, looking at the dark nature of the classroom. Is it not true? And then there is no ventilation, the place is hot, and they are crowded here. If we take action against you people to close the school until you improve on it and you continue your educational issue here, are we wrong?
When we entered the kindergarten, we found their teacher sweating profusely. The temperature was not conducive for learning.
This is what class? KG what? Look at how you are sweating. Are you not sweating? Why are you sweating?
Shouting.
I mean, why are you sweating?
Why am I sweating? We danced. I was teaching them how to
dance,
how to sing rhymes.
So that.
Well, the AMA and the GES closed down the school yesterday after another inspection tour. Here is the head of the AMA's Environmental Health Department, Florence Kuchi.
Gave a notice to the proprietor to report to our office to show his document if he has really registered the school. But when he came, realized that he hasn't registered the school. He doesn't have any document for the school. So we followed it up with a summons. While we were following our public health aspect, the Ghana Education also came in, and the director of AMA was instructed to remove the children and then distribute them to the various government schools. So today we are here to see whether the order that was given, it has been done. But lo and behold, we are here today. We've seen that they have complied to all the rules that have been given. So they have moved, the school is no more here, the school children have been distributed to the various public schools. So I think we have achieved an aim. We've saved the face of children from contaminating, let me say, any disease, skin infection and other things. So today we are here and we are happy that we have really brought a change to this place. Through Clean Ghana campaign, we were able to save the life of poor children that were harbored inside one room, no ventilation, no lighting and all that.
About how many children are we talking about here?
About 120 children. In this, there were, yes, about 120 children in this small room that you are seeing here.
Hopefully they get a better place to get some education and that the education is not truncated with this process as well. But plastic waste has taken over the Subin storm drain in Kumasi and other water sources in parts of the Ashanti region, raising fears of potential floods as the rain sets in. Last night, police and volunteers rescued 5 people whose vehicle was swept downstream of a flooded river at Efijase Asokori following just minutes of downpour in parts of the region. Ohime has been out and about to find out the extent of the danger ahead if measures are not taken to forestall such occurrences. He will bring us details of that in our subsequent bulletins. And before we break for sports, I have a birthday present. It is my birthday today, and I want to share it with you. So one of our anchors here for our news program for younger viewers, News Generation, has just won an award. And for me, it is indeed a great way to spend my birthday here on air. Scholastica IAG, congratulations.
Thank you very much, Gifty.
Okay.
And happy birthday.
Thank you.
It's your birthday gift.
Thank you. This is a pretty birthday gift. Really pretty. I should take a selfie with it. So tell us, what was this? 5th Ghana Tertiary Women's Awards 2020.
Yeah.
So this is Tertiary Woman TV Host of the Year.
Yep.
Wow. Tell us about it.
As usual, this is the second award, and it's a very good initiative to commend with the young people in the industry. It's not just about the media. There were other categories as well, but thanks to God, I've been able to win this, and thanks to JoyNews, especially the News Generation team, my editor, Avla De Souza. Thank you so much. God bless you, and to my family. Thank you, Gifty, for my wonderful dress.
She's excited. She certainly is excited. So if you don't watch, so News Generation essentially is it's news that's meant for younger generation, so for the younger viewers. So just tell us a bit more about News Generation, those who have not seen it, those who have not followed it, a bit more.
Okay, so News Generation is the normal news bulletin, but our target audience is the youth beneath, from SHS and below, and we make sure that the news covers things that concern them and everything about them. So I'd like to encourage everybody within that level to watch News Generation and below. Yes.
SHS, JHS, primary school, crèche, everybody can watch.
Yes, the English and everything we speak suits their level of education and all of that. So and it airs on Saturdays at 2 p.m. on Joy Prime and 4 p.m. on JoyNews, and Sundays 4 p.m. on JoyNews as well. And you see me, so please watch.
Wait, say that again. When does it air and what time?
Okay, Saturdays 2 p.m. on Joy Prime and 4 p.m. on JoyNews, and Sunday 4 p.m. on JoyNews.
So Sundays and Saturdays, your kids are home. You want them to take a look at the news, but you don't want them to look at the news that's meant for adult consumption, if I should put it that way. In this news, we also engage you young people, that's News Generation, engage young people to hear their thoughts, adding them to the decision-making process. And so it is exciting. Let your kids be a part of it. Congratulations once again, Scholastica.
Thank you very much.
Do you have any final words?
Yeah, I just want to say a very big thank you to God. And I'd actually want to dedicate this award to anybody that is suffering from depression and an unsound mental health. I believe, because last year I was a victim of depression, but by the grace of God, a lot of people didn't know. So by the grace of God, I was able to survive it. And I believe that it's because I believed in God and I believed in myself. So I was able to overcome it all. So I'm really thankful. And I feel like people don't pay too much attention to them. So yeah, in my own small way, I want to tell them that it isn't over. God is, still in the miracle business. Thank you very much.
Well, I say to you that you have not been depressed. Things may not go your way, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's depression. For those of us who believe in God, we don't really believe in that.
Yeah.
But if you have any, sort of ununderstandable condition, you certainly want to have it checked. But encourage yourself, be encouraged, and get on top of anything. So this is to you, anybody who thinks that life is not going the way you think it should go, and you feel that you're suffering depression. Well, Scholastica said she's been through it and she's out of it. So be encouraged. The 5th Ghana Tertiary Women's Awards 2020, Tertiary Woman TV Host of the Year. At her age, she's already winning awards. So you can do that too. Let me do some sport. You've taken enough of your time.
The last fixtures of round 1 of the 2019-2020 Women's League ended last weekend with the least goals recorded so far. 10 goals were scored across both zones. Azakes had the most with their 3-1 defeat against Halifax Ladies at the Tema Stadium. A goal from Malot Pokua set her goal tally to 10, joint top with Ampem Dakoa and Ophelia Sewa Amponsa. Doris Wedua was also on the score sheet to register her 9th goal. Immigration Ladies ended round 1 on a high by picking their first win on road by a lone goal against Sila Lions. Soccer intellectuals snatched 3 points from Lady Strikers with their 2-0 win. Police Ladies had their fixture with Samaria Ladies rescheduled with 6 of their players on national assignment. Kumasi Sports Academy held Ampem Dankwa to a 1-1 draw, with Prisons Ladies playing a goalless game against Northern Ladies. Fabulous Ladies defeated Supreme Ladies by 1-0. Here are some statistics from round 1 of the Women's League. In the Northern Zone, Ophelia Sewa Ampons and Lisa Chat with 10 goals. Malot Pokua also leads the Southern Zone with the same number of goals. Jafara Rahama of Northern Ladies picked up 3 MVP awards, the most by any player. In terms of team performances, Lady Strikers in the Southern Zone have conceded 20 goals, which is the most in the zone. Hazakes Ladies, on the other hand, have scored 24 goals, the most in the Southern Zone. In the Northern Zone, Ampem Dakwa managed 22 goals, whereas Supreme Ladies conceded 23 goals. A total of 155 goals were scored in both zones. Northern produced 78, while Southern gave 77. The biggest home win thus far has been Hazakes Ladies beating Lady Strikers 9-0 at the Esipon Stadium. The biggest away win has been Ampem Dakwa thrashing Supreme Ladies by 7-1. Prisons Ladies ended round 1 as Northern Zone leaders with 17 points as Hazakes gathered 15 in Southern Zone. The last fixtures of round 1 of the 2019-2020 Women's League ended last weekend with the least goals recorded so far. 10 goals were scored across both zones. Hazakes had the most with their 3-1 defeat against Halifax Ladies at the Tema Stadium. A goal from Malot Pokua set her goal tally to 10, joint top with Ampem Dakwa and Ophelia Sewa Amponsa. Doris Wedua was also on the score sheet to register her 9th goal. Immigration Ladies ended round 1 on a high by picking their first win on road by a lone goal against Sea Lions. Soccer intellectuals snatched 3 points from Lady Strikers with their 2-0 win. Police Ladies had their fixture with Samaria Ladies rescheduled with 6 of their players on national assignment. Kumasi Sports Academy held Ampem Dakwa to a 1-1 draw, with Prisons Ladies playing a goalless game against Northern Ladies. Fabulous Ladies defeated Supreme Ladies by 1-0. Here are some statistics from round 1 of the Women's League. In the Northern Zone, Ophelia Sewa Ampons and Lisa Chat with 10 goals. Malot Pokua also leads the Southern Zone with the same number of goals. Jafara Rahama of Northern Ladies picked up 3 MVP awards, the most by any player. In terms of team performances, Lady Strikers in the Southern Zone have conceded 20 goals, which is the most in the zone. Hazakes Ladies, on the other hand, have scored 24 goals, the most in the Southern Zone. In the Northern Zone, Ampem Dakwa managed 22 goals, whereas Supreme Ladies conceded 23 goals. A total of 155 goals were scored in both zones. Northern produced 78, while Southern gave 77. The biggest home win thus far has been Hazakes Ladies beating Lady Strikers 9-0 at the Esipon Stadium. The biggest away win has been Ampem Dakwa thrashing Supreme Ladies by 7-1. Prisons Ladies ended round 1 as Northern Zone leaders with 17 points as Hazakes gathered 15 in Southern Zone. Ghana Women's League Board Vice Chairperson Rosalind Amu is optimistic women's football can close the gap on men's game. She is impressed with the improvement women's football has made from the international setup where it is dominated by men.
A time would come, but we shouldn't expect it in the immediate future. It is going to be a gradual process, especially in Ghana, where we are now trying to consistently improve upon the fan base, the interest, the promotion, and the development. Already elsewhere in the world, I think it has caught up. If you look at the numbers during the last Women's World Cup hosted by France, I think that is possible because the attendances were huge, the support and fan base were encouraging and very impressive. The quality of play, I have no doubt, the performances of the players and the coaches, there was no questions about it at all. But when it comes to Ghana,
time for us to do Let's Talk Showbiz now, but you can log on to myjoyonline.com. We have more of our stories there from where you can follow us. To the fraud 96 alleged of committed details there, and our top story, I'm too young to leave politics, Kwabena Japan on NPP come back. Scroll all the way down on that page. Our YouTube link is there. Also look out for our scam alert on that false publication that's going around on social media. Beware, do not be scammed. Our YouTube link, of course, has all of our programs. You can follow us from there. My name is Gifty Ando Apia. It's always a pleasure coming your way. Enjoy the rest of the day and enjoy 6 March tomorrow. Indeed, entire month is Ghana month. Have fun.